Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Beyond the Stamp, the Michigan Notary Association podcast. This evening's topic is closing in a title office. But before we begin, I need to just remind everyone that Michigan Notary Association, we're not a law firm. None of us here are lawyers, and none of the information that we provide should be taken as legal advice. We tend to disseminate best practice information and information to help you further along your notary journey. And with that, I would like to introduce Jennylyn Conrad, who is one of our MENA board members. And she is so generously offered to host the podcast today, be our speaker, and talk about closing in a title office. So, Jalen, I'm going to turn it over to you if you want to give a little bit of more background on yourself, and then I'm going to mute myself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for having me today. My name is Jennylyn Conrad. I own Conrad Signings LLC. It's a mobile notary service based in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I cover all of Southwest Michigan. Today, I'm going to talk about how to do a closing in a title office and what it looks like from preparation to execution. So I did my best to have it all concise because, like, in reality, when you stop overthinking, everything is just like smooth and easy. I learned that the hard way because, like, before, Leslie knows this, like, I overthink and all that, I overanalyze. But then the EOs I've worked with were just fantastic. They were there to coach me, mentor me, and all that, and basically reassure me, like, it's not life and death, you know, like, you're there so we can make corrections if you make any mistakes. But so far, I didn't, thank God. So, first, I would like to talk about the preparation part of things. I usually show up 15 minutes before the closing because I like to prep the documents. I arrange the documents based on how I usually execute the loan signings. I make sure that I have all the numbers present first, like at the very top of the closing documents. Why? I got asked that why you rearrange things. I'm like, to make it easier and smoother for everybody. And in my experience in the title office, they're not like, oh, this needs to be arranged this way. Nope. Because they will print the title document separately than the loan documents from the lender. So what I usually do is start with the numbers, save time and energy, because every now and then the numbers will be off. The signers will be like, this is what I was told. Why is this like this? So I can stop the signing right away, go to the EO and tell them what the issue is. So that really saved me so much time and energy instead of signing everything. And then when it comes to the closing disclosure and Alta settlement statement, something's off. So we have to stop. Thank God I haven't really experienced that before because I thought about it already. I'm like, what's the most important thing that they really care about? Numbers. Always numbers. How much I'm paying. If it's a seller, how much I'm getting back. So so I do that preparation. Title office will print the documents for me. If I got hired while I'm home, I'm like, it's easier if I print this out. I make sure that I print one sided only, never double sided. It's very unprofessional. I know there are people who does that. I just don't do it that way because, again, you are the extension of the title office, and people do not like signing, like flipping things like that. So stick to one sided. That's really the rule. I haven't seen double sided ever. So after I organize the documents based on how I'm going to execute it, every now and then the receptionist will give me the photocopy of the ID. So first time I got started at a title office, I told them this is how I do things. I still need to see the ID before we start signing. And because I told them that, they knew my process. Like, Jennylyn, do you want to make the copy for this? I'm like, yes. I prefer to do that so I can hand the IDs directly to the signer instead of asking them, can I see your ID? Because when I work in a different title office, that's what I did because they just gave me the photocopy. And I'm like, I need to see the ID. So the signer was like, I already showed them that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I still need to see the physical ID. So after that experience, I'm like, I need to make sure to inform them how my process is. Because if you are upfront, people will respect that, especially if you deliver it with confidence. When you're getting started, people know that you're a newbie. They can tell. Lenders, even agents, will be sometimes kind of rude to you, like kind of shaking you, like, hey, you know, how much do you know? Like, with me, I'm compliant. They can't force me to do things that I do not want to do. That's against the law. I tell them that. That's just me. But I prefer to tell newbies about that because I'm like, they're going to push you. That happened to me. They're going to push you because they expect you to be the EO. You're not the escrow officer. You're not explaining documents. So after I get the IDs and all that, I do greetings like, how are you today? Offer a shake hands. Every now and then there are people that do not believe in shaking hands. So we got to be respectful of that too. Offer your hand if they don't want to touch you, that's fine. And, tell them, make themselves comfortable and all that. And one of the greatest thing I have done closing in a title office, even the mobile closings I do, when I confirm, I always give them a heads up. Like, I set the expectations clear. Hey, as a third party notary, I cannot explain documents to you. Loan terms, what this means, what's this for, why your numbers are like this, I can't explain that to you. But I'm happy to ask your loan officer or pull the escrow officer out to answer that question. Since I started doing that, oh my God, they do not ask you a question. They just don't. I'm so happy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I did that. So I know it works for me. So I encourage everybody, please set the expectations that you are there as a notary. So they're not expecting you to act like an escrow officer. Because an escrow officer can do things that you cannot. So once that thing's established, the signing goes smoothly. I love it. After that, we go through the numbers, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, loan documents, you might be surprised that you've signed this online already, but they still require your wet signature. And if the lender is doing a fantastic job, oh my God, you'll be done in a buyer signing in 20 minutes because they know what they're signing. They know what that is for. They're just ready to sign to basically seal the deal right there. Yes. So, one more thing. When we go through the numbers, I ask them, have you seen your numbers? Do you have any questions? And a lot of times, title office closing is so different than mobile closings. I don't answer my phones ever because you're right there. Focus on who's in front of you. No matter what other people tell you on Facebook, answer your phone, you're missing out on money. Nope. Do not lose that direct for a signing service that you have to fight for your prize. I told the title office, this is my prize. They're like, cool, we'll pay you because you're there to make their lives easier. So focus on who's in front of you. Most of the time in a title office, you will have the loan officer there, buyer's agent, seller's agent, and family. Imagine if I'm like, hold on 1 second, let me answer this. Ba, 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 ba. Nope, never, never, never. Even if the signing service threatens you, like, oh, you're going to be blacklisted, fine with me. Seriously, fine with me. Because, yeah, take care of who's in front of you. Because if you are not focused on them, that's when mistake happens. And we are there to avoid that. Make sure they are actually the one signing. Because an escrow officer told me one time the mom tried to sign for the daughter because, every now and then when the parents there, they're like, I don't, I don't, I don't. You need to really stick to your guns. Like you're there to do a job. Don't let them pressure you. So once you know all of this is important. That's why you need to get your notary basic education so you know what you're doing. Set them the expectations. After that, everything's just like, whoo, wonderful. And um, I would want to talk about escalation of things because every now and then there's going to be some issues. Just excuse yourself. Don't over explain because you're going to step on other people's boundaries. Like I said, I've been pressured before by lenders and agents. Like, why are you not doing that? Why are you not doing this for them? It's a title document. Yeah, it is a title document, and I'm a notary. I'm not an escrow officer. So you really need to tell them that no matter how much they push you, because the escrow officer will tell you, if you need me, pull me out. And I've done that many times. I'm like, hold on one second. Now they don't want to sign because they want the spoon and fork. It's not on the bill of sale, it's not on an addendum. There's a lot of ridiculous issues that will come up on the closing table that I don't think you will regularly experience in the mobile closings. And for copies, I asked the signer, do you want a paper copy of everything we're signing, or would you like a digital copy or both? Because title offices, they offer both options. If they want, okay, I want an email copy and a paper copy. Okay. Because after we sign, I'll check that if I miss anything or not. If not, I give him a copy and then I make copies for the agent. Usually it's the deed, Alta settlement statements, and some important addendums. That's all they care about for agents. And a lot of times the EO will walk you through that. If they don't, ask the question, what copies should I do? Because you cannot give the agent the entire copy. So for the escalation, I always bring that to the escrow officer. I do my best to be very respectful when I excuse myself. Because every now and then it gets heated up. Not that you're doing it wrong, but the signers have personal issues that you have no control over. So give yourself some grace, give yourself a break. So every now and then you'll absorb that emotion. So say, I'll excuse myself. Let me get the escrow officer for you to answer that question. Do not overstep. You think you're being helpful. Some people will consider that legal advice. Title offices do not want that. They have that paper document that everybody needs to sign saying that the title office did not act as your agent or lawyer and you did not get legal advice. So do not over explain things. Just excuse yourself. It's so much easier. I don't ever rush people. You need to make sure that they are actually signing on their free will. If they have doubts, I'll be like, okay, let me get you the escrow officer. I've had that one time happen to me. I'm like, she's hesitant. I can't notarize for her. Because she's like, what is this? I don't know about this. Let me think about that. So I'm like, I have back to back closings too, but I do not want to rush them. If somebody shows you hesitation, I would suggest just get the extra officer and stop the signing right there. Because the way I see it, oh my God, this person might cause a problem. I do not want to be involved in that. I don't want this person to be like, she forced me to sign. Nope. They're not going to get mad at you. Just be upfront to people. As long as you deliver it with respect, they're going to respect that. I also want to talk about some common issues in the title closings. Most issues come from lack of preparation. Like I said, if the lender's doing their job, oh my God, you can have like two closings in 1 hour, that quick. But if they don't, the signers will ask you so many things. I'm like, nope, here's your lender. And every now and then, the lender will be embarrassed because, like, oh, they didn't really do their job. And it's not your fault. Don't ever feel bad. Before, I used to think, like, oh my God, I disappointed him. I might not get calls. Nope, not your job. And if they're not doing their job, it's a blessing if they don't call. Thank you. Because you do not want to be involved in things that will just create more issues. Um, and one of the things too, for me, the issues, those are very avoidable as long as everybody has done their job. And every now and then you'll experience like lenders not doing their job. Agents don't know how to explain this form. Just a heads up, the 1099s for sellers, they have to answer those questions. If they ask you, what does this mean? Refer to their agent. The realtor should know that. I've had a guy before, like, you don't know how to explain that? I'm like, I know what this form is for, but I cannot explain it. So the signer looked at him like, like, I paid you thousands of dollars. You can't explain this to me. It's embarrassing and it's not your fault. They're just not doing their job. So you got to move on from that. Give yourself a lot of grace because a lot of ridiculous issues are going to come up on a closing table. I'm telling you. Spoon and fork, those kind of things, stop at closing, like the carpet on the floor. It's ridiculous. I've had those happen before and I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I'm not a realtor. And yeah, like the thing that makes the title closing more successful in my experience is when at the very beginning you establish that rapport. Because every now and then it's like a divorce. So people are bitter. You can read the room. You can definitely read the room. And when it comes to those kind of closing, I am very, very friendly. Oh my God. But when it's that kind of closing, I kind of like pull myself back a little bit and just be like absolutely professional because they do not want to sit in front of each other for an hour. So you want to get that closing done as soon as you can, but you still gotta be compliant. Okay? Every now and then there's gonna be screaming, arguing. Like I said, ridiculous issues will come up and you have no clue because you showed up there, you got the documents, and you don't know what's going on with those people. So always give yourself that grace. And again, be very, very compliant. Be very, very clear with the expectations. Because with the expectations, once that's established, the closing will go so smoothly. And always, always issue an oath. I arrange the documents, numbers first. And I grab every document that I have to swear them in. I'm like, okay, here's the document. Affidavit of occupancy. In my experience, it's like 99.9% you have to issue an oath. It says subscribe and sworn. Another one is another affidavit. The signature name affidavit. So after that, I used to do that like at the very beginning, and then I had people ask questions. Why are you swearing me in? So I changed my tactic with that. So I gather all the documents I have to swear them in. Like, here you go. I'm going to lay it out. Before we sign, I put my hand on the table on top of the document before we sign, because every now and then they're like, nope, hold on one second. Let me explain this to you. I have this verbiage, so that means I have to swear you in. Because if you don't do that, they'll be like, man, in trouble. What's going on? Every now and then it's not really the signer who's going to be causing problems like lenders or agents. I haven't seen this done in 15 years of my real estate experience. I'm like, oh well, I do things according to our law. I'm compliant. This is how it should be done. This is how to correctly do it. So I explain it to them, you know signature name affidavit, you see this listed, these are all your names, when they ran your credit, blah blah blah. that kind of thing. But I always give him a heads up in my experience. Always say in your experience. So you are not giving illegal advice. Always. Because if you just like, oh, this is this, kind of like you're delivering it with guarantee. So that's legal advice. If you get in trouble, title office is not going to cover you. So that's what I do. I gather all the documents. I'm like, here it is. If you want, you can read that so you know what you're swearing in. And they don't have a problem. So easy. It's like 10, 15 seconds. Do you attest or affirm that everything in the document is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and you're signing on your free will? I emphasize that. And you're signing on your free will. Yes, I do. Boom. And then sign, 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 sign. Perfect. And if some people will have a problem, you will experience that. So prepare yourself. Make sure you stand your ground. I'm doing this because according to the law, once you have this verbiage on the notarial block, I have to give you an oath. Just explain that part to them and deliver it with confidence so you're not putting doubts in their mind that you don't know what you're doing. Every now and then people will be so doubtful. Like, why am I signing this? Are they putting this out there in the internet? Everybody can access it. Some people just have those security issues. And as much as possible, do your best not to get offended because they are, entitled to feel that way. Your job there is to make sure that they know what's going on and you're doing your job correctly. What's that question? Sorry. Okay. So my direct closings fluctuates. Like lately, I have been doing mobile closings for my directs. Yeah, because like like the company is expanding, so they're getting more escrow officers, so they have people closing in there. So I would say average in a week, I have like four, and they pay you your price. So make sure that you take care of your direct clients. And like I said, don't answer your phone when you're in front of the people because everybody's there. Be very sensitive because buying a house is one of like the biggest thing that will ever happen for a lot of people. And it's just very offensive and disrespectful, in my opinion. Not only unprofessional, but disrespectful to answer your phone calls. Because the agents are not doing that on the closing table. They're busier than you, right? So have that courtesy. If we're dealing with the elderly or like in the hospital, we have bedside manners. So we should also have something like that when you do closing in a title office. Because feedback goes back to the escrow officer. If you're answering your phone calls, they're not gonna call you back. So far I had like, oh my God, they really love you. Because like I said, I'm friendly. But then again, you gotta read the room. You cannot be overly friendly for people like arguing and everything in front of the closing table. And oh, with the title agents, I am not very sure how to answer that question. But with escrow officer, they do they do pull documents for the title purposes, title insurance and all that. Make sure there's no lien on the deed and stuff. The title agents, I rarely hear that title, really. It's always like escrow officer, escrow officer, escrow officer, like regional director, escrow officer. So it's always EO in my experience. So yeah, I mean, we can Google that. Or I'll ask my friends, like, what's the difference between this and that?
I just looked it up, just so you know.
Okay.
It says escrow officers and title agents are not the same, but their roles overlap, and often a single title company provides both services, with the title agent focusing on property ownership research and the escrow officer
Do the
managing funds
closings.
and paperwork. So
Okay.
there.
Yes, Deb.
Okay. So I don't have a question, but I do have two comments. So the first one is relates to your comments about not answering your phone. which is very true because
Yes.
you are representing the title company. So image is everything. So
Yep.
I would perceive the person in front of me taking a phone call as being something that the title company has done to me. So you are
Yes.
absolutely correct about that. The second thing is you mentioned about getting the documents like right then and there. So this is a reminder to all of the notaries who think that they need to read a person's documents.
Mm-mm.
It's not necessary.
Nope.
This is proof. This is the exact thing that we try to get notaries to understand. You don't have to read the person's document. You're in a title office, you're getting them like right before the signing. You're not going through and reading, all the
Nope.
stuff. You're just executing the document. So I just want to make those two comments.
Correct. Correct. Like I don't really go through it. Like I just look for like, oh, where's the note? Where's the closing disclosure? Where's the mortgage? The titles. And then I just double check the spelling of your names. That's it. I don't go through the terms. That's why it's important that you have established that rapport at the very beginning and you have established the expectations from you. Because that stops people from asking you questions. So don't believe everything you see online on Facebook. Oh, it's your responsibility to know. No, it is not. Escrow officers will not tell you or expect you to do their job. No, because like I said, there's a paper that signers have to sign that says the title office did not give them legal advice. And if you're doing that, you're representing the title, they can get sued and they will sue you. So that's it. Yes, Leslie.
So when I was a brand new notary, I sat and watched every YouTube video I could find on
Mm-hmm.
doing any type of notary work. And there was a lady, she said that when she goes to an appointment, no matter what type of appointment it is, she tells the signers that the way she makes money is to answer her phone. And that if her phone rings, she's going to answer it. And then there was a scene, I wish I could find it, where she's like in the shower and her phone rang and she reached out of the shower to grab the phone. And I am telling you right now, Jennylyn, you are more correct than she is because
Yes.
you have to think about it like you're shopping in a store, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you are the customer and you go to the store, you're there with money in your hands and the phone rings and the clerk stops taking care of you and answers the phone and then doing all this other stuff. No,
Correct.
do not answer the phone when you're with a client, whether it's general notary work or loan signing. Let it ring, call back when you're done.
Correct. Yeah, because like I got into like exchange of comments on Facebook. And this lady's like, I own a signing service. I expect everybody to answer their phone calls because I do that too. And she told me, did you know that you can get blacklisted? I'm like, I have no problem. I'm like, I'm not losing money. And like I said, to avoid mistakes, focus on the people in front of you. That will cause you money. Mistakes will cause you money, not answering your phone calls. The right people who will pay your price will leave you a voicemail. They always leave me a voicemail. Let me know if you can do the signing today at 3. They will leave you a voicemail. They'll send you an email. They'll send you a text message. And those signing services who are expecting you to act like an employee will not pay your price. Move on. Yes, Dad.
I was just going to say well, I do have a question, but those signing services that want you to answer your phone is sort of how you say people in the office will try to pressure you. It's the same thing
Yes.
the signing services are trying to pressure you. So my question is, do you use a journal?
Yes, I do all the time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I tell them, everything will be in writing. People in real estate, that's their motto. So they're not going to get offended with that. They're like, yep, absolutely. Real estate agents, that's their motto. Everything should be in writing. So they understand why you're recording that.
Mhm. Very
Yep.
good.
And I always tell them, by the way, like, oh, things are going to change in Michigan because this is what we're doing in Michigan Notary Association. Yeah, I'm like, hey, like we have this bill that we need to pass. So all of the things that you are experiencing with me will be absolutely like consistent. It's going to be a law. I want that to be a law. I want consistency. So, people expect that from every notary, not just from me. Like, why are you giving it up? Here's why. And I always have that thing that I got from Mina. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a thicker paper where it says, like, oh, you need to issue an oath when you see this.
Oh, the
Reference
reference
sheet.
guide?
Yeah.
Yes, I present that. I have done that a few times. Like, here you go.
Well, for those people who did not receive it in the mail, because we are now automated, if you log into your account and then go to the member menu, you'll find it and you can download it.
Yes, yes. And, this is why you need to be educated in our state law. So you have that confidence to say, no, I'm not doing that. Here's why. Pull all that. Yeah, here's my reference. Here. Come on, you can Google that. I don't say that, but in my head, it's like, oh, you can Google that. If you want me to do that for you, I'll do it. But I've only had to like present them that reference. Here you go. You can check out our organization. We're doing great things in Michigan. I say that, yes.
So
I
can you tell us more about how you got started in a title office? Like what was
oh
the
yeah.
that whole story?
Well, like Leslie before, I used to watch all these YouTube videos. They're like, oh, you gotta go to a title office, tell them what you do. They will always tell you we have an in-house notary. And like for me, not to be political or anything, I am a minority. I have a lot of disadvantage already. You know, I am getting profiled 24/7, and I'm fine with that. I do not want to act like a victim. So I did use that disadvantage to be creative. I'm like, who do I know who knows somebody in a title office? Because the way I saw it, I told my husband this. Because he's like, that's right, walk in there. I'm like, nope, it's not gonna work for me. So every now and then you can tell as soon as you leave your card, it's going to the trash. So I'm like, here's the thing, I want this change. I want when I walk in the title office, they're expecting me. So that's how I approached it. Who do I know that works there? Who do I know that knows somebody who works there? Can you give me a warm introduction? That's how I got into this big title offices in Kalamazoo. Because of like people I know that they know. Like, hey, Jennylyn is a mobile notary. She's doing mobile closings and all that. That's how I got into the title office. Because I knew what's not gonna work for me and I'm not going to continue exerting that effort that I know it's not really gonna work. It's good that people give advice online, but then again, you have to um, look at your strengths and weaknesses. You know yourself more than anybody, so you know what's going to work for you. I've had people like, no, 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 no. I'm like, nope, I'm pretty stubborn. Good luck convincing me. Good luck changing my mind. I know what's going to work for me. I was very scared at the very beginning that I'm not going to get a lot of work because I'm not following all the steps that they said on the course or what I'm seeing on Facebook. But then again, it's not working for me. Walking in a title office never got me any work. Never. Never. Because, if a receptionist is an insecure person, and you're happy, you have this energy, you're cute, you're professional looking. Nope, they're not gonna give that to the escrow officers. So yeah, that's how I got into the title office. I look who I know that knows somebody in there. So that really worked. Because like I said, when I walk in the office, they knew who I am. They're expecting me already. Yes, Leslie.
Are you telling me that buying gifts and taking them to title offices isn't going to work?
It didn't work for me. Like I said, I'm
Didn't
never getting
me
a job
either.
from
It
that.
did not work.
Never.
It doesn't work for most people. What it does is it spends money. You have to go out of there,
Yes.
don't you? Are they kicking you out?
It is like, I'm like,
All right. Well, we'll let Debbie take over while you resituate.
yeah, it's okay. And like I said, you have to know what's going to work for you. It will save you time, money, and heartaches.
Yeah.
Because,
And it,
when it doesn't work, you kind of like look at yourself like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And a lot of times it's really out of your control. You just really need to know what's working for you and what's not. And then put all your energy into that because that's what's been working for me. I am saying no to some title office. Always make sure that they have a good reputation. If you know any realtors, ask them, what's your experience with this title office? Because I had a very bad experience one time. I walked out and I'm like, I'm not going to get any calls from them. And I'm fine with it. Because they're, not only pressuring me, but they wanted me to, because they're adding another document that they missed. Can you date this, back this? I'm like, nope. No, 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 no. I'm like, if they're asking me that, what else are they going to ask me and expect me to do next time? Be very mindful. Not all money are good money.
right, that is
Yes,
true.
absolutely.
So your comment about asking people, who do you know that works there, goes
Yes.
back to a fundamental principle that Leslie and I have been teaching since day one, more so Leslie, because she is like the queen of networking, but it
Yep.
is all about networking.
Yes.
It
Like
is
it's
about
really who
networking.
you know, not what you know. Of course, it's what you know in our industry. But yeah, it's who you know. That's what worked for me. And not everybody likes me because I'm kind. Fine with that.
I feel you. I'm in the same boat.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes. Questions?
No, 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 no. Okay. All right.
Thank you. That was
Any,
very helpful and informative.
Of course, of course. I'm like, I'm happy to empower people because we all want to make money. There's work for everybody. And I just want to basically mentor people and save them time. Like, do not follow everything you find online. What's working in California will not always work in Michigan.
Yeah, I just want to say hi, Jenny Lynn, from a person from my part of the state. I'm
Yes.
in Branch County, so I was like, yeah, Kalamazoo. All right, Battle Creek.
Oh, well, Vicky, we gotta meet sometime.
Yes, yes, we will.
all right. So,
Yeah.
Jenny Lynn, what do you do to network? I know you do some other stuff to build up your network. Tell us about that.
Um, well, before I got started with networking, I was pregnant. So people kind of like remembered me. Oh, you were pregnant when I met you. So that's kind of like a unique thing for them. But before, I used to like try to attend everything, but not every networking is worth it. There's a lot of drama, Vicky and Kalamazoo. Just
Yeah,
letting you know.
I've
That's why I
heard.
started. Yeah, that's why I started my own thing in Battle Creek. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just like that. I'm so ambitious. I can you tell? So I started my own thing because I'm like, a lot of networking is really not gonna work for you because they're so clicky. Like you don't know how to break the conversations. Everybody's, turned their backs on you and all that. It's kind of like you're not welcome here. So I'm like, instead of like basically pushing myself and begging for like, hey, let me in. I created my own community and the way I do things differently here. Because I'm like, as a host, my job is to greet everybody. And then I realized with networking, people will just talk, 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 talk. And then at the end, you did not meet your potential client because you got stuck there. So with my networking events, I introduce them. Oh, you're a lender? Hey, let me introduce you to this realtor. We're all saving time, energy, conversation. Because I'm like, I need energy when I get home with my kids. They're so little that they have energy 24/7. And that's really what made me realize that not every networking is worth it. Just pick the ones that you think like, oh, I should be in that room. Not every room is for you, and you should be okay with that. It's for your peace of mind, really. So you don't feel like, oh, you failed because you weren't able to do what you need to do in this networking event. Yeah. If you cannot find that community, create one.
Great advice. Thank you
Yes.
for that.
Of course. We need more of that.
Are there any other questions?
The question?
No questions. You did a good job. I think you answered everything
Mhm.
completely. When there's no
Yep.
questions, I always think, oh, you nailed it because there's no questions. So
Yes. I mean,
yeah,
to summarize it, it's pretty easy. Just make sure you establish your boundaries, the expectations. They need to know you are a third party. That's very important. Use that word. I'm a third party vendor. So they're not going to expect you to act like the title office. Because my escrow officer, she does different things than me. I'm just there to close. And don't worry about the documents. It's none of your business. They're not going to ask you. If they ask you, pull your ego out. You have a question about taxes? Good luck. I can't understand taxes at all. Nope. Not going to figure that out. Yeah, it's usually about taxes. You know, even the agents, every now and then when they explain that, they get it wrong. They have to rephrase themselves because it's complicated. So don't even try. That's legal advice.
gotcha.
Go ahead, Jeb.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you to Jennylyn for spending so much time preparing for tonight.
Yes.
She did tell me if I needed to tell her to be quiet to do this. So thank you, Jennylyn. As
Of
kindly
course.
as possible. You have done a great job tonight.
Thank you.
Typically, we run this for about 30 minutes. You did a little bit over. We're not mad.
Okay.
But we then usually open up the floor the last 15 minutes to anybody who has any questions about anything, not just loan signings.
Mm-hmm.
We have Vicky, who is new to us. She is she's newer to us. And then Charmin is here also, and she's fairly new. She's been here for a few months, but Charmin is very active and she always has a lot of questions. So I can't wait to see
Mm-hmm.
if she is paying attention and has
Yep.
something to say tonight. But Vicky, do you have anything about any type of questions at all that you might want us to answer tonight?
No, like I was just curious about the loan signing part of things, and because
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get my toes a little bit wet into that
Yeah.
to see because I might start doing that as part of a side job. Telling Leslie, currently my full-time job is I work at a funeral home. I'm not with the bodies. I'm in the office. Let me just start with that. I always start with that. I'm in the office. I write obituaries and I notarize funeral home assignments and I deal with life insurance policies, that part
Yep.
of the aspect. So, but that's what got me to be a notary to begin with
Yeah.
and into this. So, but yeah, the loan signing aspect of it, I'm interested. It's curious. So yeah,
Yep. Yep. And you don't need to know everything. It's not your job.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Stay in your lane.
Yes, yes.
Everybody stays in their lane on the closing table. I
It's our
promise you.
job to know when to issue an oath, not answer
Correct.
questions about taxes.
Yes, Charmin, this is recorded. Yay.
Okay, well, the takeaways tonight, we don't read documents, we don't explain documents, prepare properly, make sure you're swearing people in, issuing the oath, do you solemnly swear or affirm? Or no, do you, yeah, affirm that the contents of the documents are true and you're signing of your own free will. That oath is on your card if you log into your account on MichiganNotaryAssociation.org. Log in, go to your account. It's the red button up in the corner. Get all of your good information from there. We keep adding stuff. I don't know. Did you guys get your email yesterday and today? Okay,
Yes.
good. We're trying to be better. That's our commitment for 2026 is to be more. I promise it's not going to be every day. There was just yesterday, and then it's like, oh, shoot, let me tell them this today. And then it's set for maybe once a week. Okay. So you hear from us every week. You'll hear something that a benefit that you have, or a class that's done, or a story that we've heard during the week so that you can learn from other people's mistakes.
Correct.
So yeah, so all this stuff is going to be, so watch your email, make sure you open it up and read the emails that we send you because we're trying to help you be better informed. We want to be more communicative than we have been in the past. I mean, we've always been here for you, but we don't want you to always have to chase us down. So there we go. So does anybody have any other questions? Sherman does. Sherman, you're on mute, so come off mute, hon.
My apologies.
You're good.
So to make sure I understand, to get, well, I guess I have two. So when you said swear to, or to do the oath, I don't remember. Is this for loan packets?
Yes. And for
I don't
every
remember doing an oath when I purchased my house. Are they for every packet?
because you're not
Yes,
doing it right.
you
But like
probably didn't. Most people don't know when or how to issue an oath. They don't know that it's there. I was at a house today to do a real estate an estate plan closing, and the couple who were the witnesses had just closed on their home yesterday, and the documents arrived with the brand new notary, double-sided. That's why Jennylyn mentioned that earlier, because I told her about that. He did not issue an oath. These people were like deer in a headlight as I issued an oath to the signers and a separate oath to the witnesses, because that's what the paperwork said. So here I need to sign them in and sign, or I need to swear them in and swear them in. And it was separate, and they were all just like, and these people were doctors and lawyers. They've been around the block. And they were like, what? And they were sitting, and then they finally did say something about, I don't know, you seem to really know what you're doing. And I kind of slid my business card across the table. They were like, oh, wow, all right. So they all took a card because they all have some notaries in their life, and they're going to let them know about Michigan Notary Association. So
Yep.
Okay. So the front and back, I keep hearing things, buy a double-sided printer or double-sided laser printer.
No.
Now I'm
dual
hearing
tray.
I don't need to,
Dual
which
tray.
means I can save a lot of money and can get me a printer.
No, dual tray versus
Dual
double-sided.
tray.
Dual tray meaning it'll
right.
print legal size and letter size, and
Okay.
double-sided meaning it prints on front and back. We don't want front and back.
Okay.
Everybody
I remember that, but I stand corrected.
You're all good.
Okay.
We just want you to have the right information. That's okay.
Right. And side, what was the other? Oh, the title company. Do you only do, or do we only get our loan paperwork documents from a title company?
If you are doing an in-house closing, yes.
What does it mean, in-house closing? That you go to their office?
Yeah, you're going to the title office to close for them.
So
They
other
will
people
provide
are
that
going
for
to
you.
people's
You're
house?
not going to print unless like there's a few times where I'm like, I'm at home right now, it's gonna be easier if I print this. And then I show up there. But
versus you leaving out early to go to the office to print it out.
Mm-hmm. Like a lot, I would say 100% of the time, when you show up there, the document's waiting for you already. They have printed that, especially if it's a busy day, back to back closings. Yep. Like I will have like 5 stacks there. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m.
Okay, so who do the other people work for when they're going to their house, Starbucks, the library?
That
I
could
guess I'm
be
confused.
from a title office or a signing service. Because I am, like I said, lately I've been doing mobile closings for my direct. It's still direct client, but I either show up at their office to pick it up or I print it myself and meet the signers wherever it's convenient for them. But if you're
Mhm.
working with a signing service, they always expect you to print that, even if you're doing it in house.
Okay.
Sherman,
Yeah,
just for clarity, when Jenny Lynn says her direct client is a title office.
yeah, it's a title
Oh,
office.
okay.
You're
Okay.
understand that? Okay.
Thanks, because I was trying to process everything. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot more convenient to work that way because you're not printing and they're paying your price.
Okay. That's extra
Yep,
money saved. Yeah.
And there's no
correct.
mailing and all that kind of stuff too. The documents
Yep.
are there and they stay there.
Yeah, they stay there. And if they need copies, you copy it right there. I either
Mm-hmm.
photocopy or scan it or both.
Okay. And what do you do? Just walk to the person's desk. Here you go. Here you go.
They have a printing room where you can print and scan documents there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
So
cool.
when you're making these copies, Jenny Lynn, do you have like a list
More
that
mama
the
daddy.
closing agent gets this, the title company gets this, the buyer gets this, the seller gets this? Because I know when I've done it, that is the most anxiety raising thing that I can do
Yes.
is know who gets what because the buyers can't get anything the sellers signed,
Mm-hmm.
and the sellers can't get anything the buyer signed unless they both signed it. So I have to separate that package and make the
Mm-hmm.
copies, and then I have to separate the package a different way, and then or like take this and go, I need a copy for each of them here. And by the time I get halfway through, I'm sweating and
Yeah.
I'm nervous and I know I'm going to screw something up and I don't do it as fast. I do have a little cheat sheet, but
Yep.
I don't want that. I don't care if they're paying me more money. I don't want to do that. Like
Yeah.
that's not cool
Yeah.
for me.
The way I do that, because like I mentioned, I arrange the documents based on my convenience,
Yeah.
like to make the signing smoother. So I
Okay.
will have the seller's package separately, buyer's
Oh,
package separately. And when I do the copies, because they will have cheat sheet too. Different title companies, they do things differently. So
okay.
just a heads up on that. You don't ever have to worry about this is title documents, this is lender's document. You give the buyer their documents that they've signed. There will be documents that's gonna be signed by both buyers and signers. So both of them will need to have that copy. Those copies, those papers, I separate them because I will have to make 2 copies of those instead of like putting it on top of the buyers and then putting it on the sellers, just to cut down the time.
Can I ask you,
Yes.
can you get like a fake, we don't need to actually see that, but if you could do a video of how you separate that
Okay.
and like put on the screen that buyers get this and sellers get this and closing agent gets this and buyer's agent gets
Mm-hmm.
this and whatever, so that just like spell it out because that's the mystery about closing in a title office.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what to do and nobody wants to tell anybody. And we did have somebody who told us, but she was like 100 miles a minute speaking and we couldn't pause her. So
Okay.
if we could get that, I mean, even if you give me 5 clips because you have 5 different people to copy for,
Mm-hmm.
we can put it all together.
Okay.
I would
Yes.
love that. Instead of you trying to explain it, like spell it out for us. Like
Okay.
write it all out. They get this, they get this, they get this. I would
I can
love
do that. I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
like I said, different title office, they do things differently.
That's okay. Just do
And
the general, the most common, and if
okay,
they do it differently, they can explain it.
okay. So
Okay.
all parties, all signers and agents will always get the Alta settlement statements. If they
No,
are
I don't
this,
want you to tell me now. I want you
okay,
to make
okay,
a video about it
okay,
separately. Take your phone, set it up, and go, this is what I'm pulling out for the buyers. Click, click, click.
okay,
And then this is what I'm pulling out for the sellers. And this is what I'm pulling out for this person. This, okay. Just
okay,
make it a separate video, upload it to Google Drive, share it with us, and then we'll take it from there.
okay. I like
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll get you a list too.
Okay, that
If
would
I'm
be
not able to do a video, because it's a copy room, so everybody's using that. If I'm
yeah.
alone, I can do the video.
Okay, well, you know what? A list would be better than nothing. Because we're not gonna actually show the papers because
Yes.
it's private, so.
Okay.
And I've
We
gone through a whole closing package to redact it before, and it's a pain in the butt. So not doing that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, well, let's wrap it up.
Yep.
yes. I'm
Thank you
walking,
so
ladies.
much.
Of
Thank you so much.
course.
You did great.
Yes,
You did
thank
great. I
you,
know you were
Jennylyn.
Thank
you were
you.
nervous. You did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
I did my best not to overthink, but I'm so freaking excited. I got here like 85 minutes before we start.
She did. She absolutely did. Yeah. Mhm.
So
Silly girl.
this is so much fun because thank you. Like one of my goals too is to make sure that everybody feels confident. There's really not a lot of action going on unless there's like an issue, you know, divorce, those kind of things. I had crazy closings, guys, but I did it because I stayed in my lane. Stay in your lane.
Thank you, Jennylyn. Thank you so much for all the time you put into this. We really appreciate you.
Of course, I'm happy to help any way I can.
All right, thank you. And Vicki and Charmin, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate seeing your faces whenever you want to join us, whenever we're doing a podcast, even if you're not like especially interested in it, it's really interesting to gain more experience. And just so you know, Heather is also one of our board members. So Heather is one of our mainstays. So Heather and Jennylyn both sit on our board and they help us out with a lot of things that now Debbie and I don't have to do everything. It's so nice to have them.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry,
Right.
did you say a podcast? You do a podcast as
Well,
well?
that's what this is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't go on to like the Purple Podcast app or anything. It goes on to YouTube. So it's I don't know what it is. We call it a podcast. So anyway,
Would you
all
help me
right.
put my dad in the bed, please?
You
Thank
guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Yes,
Night, guys.
please.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Debbie, you can stop the recording now.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.